Over the last while, you've tried protests, you've tried rent strikes, you tried the courts, you tried the government. All of it made great news, but you, the renter, still ended up with rent increases. They want to show you that you have no choice but to accept all rent increases. They want you to give up. The huge Canadian rental corporations already made a profit of over $2 billion. That's $2 billion. But they're not happy with $2 billion. It is not enough for them. They want more, and they demand that you pay for it with higher rents. So far they are winning. But I gotta tell you, you took your eye off the ball. Your rent, and only your rent, made all of that profit for them. You made them filthy rich. I'm really confused. Why are you doing that for them and not for yourselves? Time to wake up. All their profit comes solely from your rent. That's right, your monthly rent has real power, but not as an individual. If the tenants in your building organize and you use your collective rent, you can own your own building. I calculated that your monthly rent is enough to build a luxury 30-story building that has 120 two-bedroom units. And your group can pay off the mortgage in 6 years and 2 months without paying a penny more than your current rent. Just imagine 6 years of no rent increases. And on your 7th year, you never have to pay rent again. You finally become a homeowner. You might say it takes too long to build a 30-story building. And even if we could, there would be delays, cost overruns. You know what? You're right. But I discovered that you can build this building in 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. And move in the following day. Impossible. It's got to be impossible. Again, you're right. No company in Canada can do that. But China can. There is no country in the world that can beat China when it comes to construction of buildings, rail, tunnels, seaports, highways, etc. As a Canadian builder, I personally witnessed a fishing village in China transform into a major modern city with some of the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen. All of this in 10 years. The city is Shenzhen. It now has a population of over 15 million people. Okay, let's get on with how you can become a homeowner. A Chinese company has invested billions of dollars to develop the technology to manufacture high-rise buildings, just like Tesla manufactures cars. They can manufacture 100 buildings per day. I told you that I crunched the numbers for ownership, which will set renters free forever. It is possible to build a 30-story building which will have 120 two-bedroom units for $16 million. That comes to $135,000 per two-bedroom unit. Let's do the math. The market value of a two-bedroom condo in Toronto is $500,000, which is on the low side. Build it yourself and it costs $135,000. At current market value of $500,000 a unit, your 30-story building is worth $66 million, and you built it for $16 million. Let me repeat that. Market value, $66 million, and you built it for $16 million. Now do you see how these large corporations raked in $2 billion in profit? You might ask, if this building is so great, why is it not getting the attention of the Canadian government? I asked that myself. That is a good question. It did get the attention of Mr. Mohammed Alaba, the owner of the tallest building in the world, situated in Abu Dhabi. You know, the one that was in Mission Impossible. He flew in his private jet to visit this factory in September of this year to talk business and to see the production line. He has to be one of the smartest, most recognized developers in the world. Again, why not the Canadian government? Maybe, just maybe, they're happy with the way things are now. You have to ask them and see what their excuse is. If you are a renter or a first-time buyer and are not happy with the way things are, do something. I was in Canada 25 years ago and left after the big real estate market crash. By chance, I landed in China. And I got to tell you, this is an amazing country. But after looking online how things are in Canada, I'm shocked to see how bad it is. How the government promised to fix the problem of affordable housing. But the results show it was all talk, and talk is cheap. If they could not solve the problem in 25 years, what makes you think they can do it now? You know what? You're going to have to do it yourself. As I pointed out, your rent has the power to build big, greedy corporations who profit at your expense because the lack of housing created a 1% vacancy rate. So they can easily tell you to move if you don't like it, then increase the rent and still have a lineup of new renters who are prepared to pay the piper. Enough for now. Go to YouTube and search 10-story building in one day, and you will see and learn and find the company in China. They are very approachable. I've been in contact with them over the last month to absorb as much as I can about the building features. I hope this video helps you break away from the endless greed of renting.